Good evening, everyone. This is Jess here. I am sitting with lovely Jo again. She is my fantastic client who we did the sweater nail on last month. So she likes to do light colors and is a video stalker and heard that I was looking for a baby boomer model. So everyone can thank Jo because she came in saying, I heard you needed a model for baby boomer. So we are going to go ahead and do that on Jo today. So I'm finishing up her fill / 30-day manicure layer with natural clear. So what's on there right now is just Optibond, just thin layer of Optibond, cure 30 seconds in an LED light, and I'm just bubbling up around the cuticle or pillowing up around the cuticle and then gliding my natural over the nail. All this excess, just wipe it off on the rim of the jar because you don't want this to be very thick. She's got a great C curve already naturally, so I don't need a lot of gel for any strength or anything like that. So it's just a very thin layer onto the nail. And I'm just making sure there's none bubbling up in the front of the nail. I want to make sure it's nice and thin. All right. And Jo is going to be reading out any questions. So if you guys have any questions during this video, please feel free to ask away. And she's going to spout them out for me. And I'll be happy to answer anything you guys have. And please, as usual, if you guys can think of any other types of nails in particular that you are interested in seeing, or videos on real clients, please let me know. All right. And what we do get to see is that Jo bumped her nail after going into the light. So I dabbed a little bit of gel onto her thumb, and so you guys will see what that looks like and how I just fixed that real quick before moving right into the color. So she was reaching for her phone for the video, so she bumped it. So I threw a little bit of extra gel on there, and I'll smooth that out real quick right before we get into color.
Suffering for the video.
Suffering for the video, yes. Just giving one more thing for you guys to see. All right, sorry about that, I was out of frame. I'm gonna come up a little bit so you guys can make sure I get in frame a little bit better. I was telling Jo that I need to learn how to watch what I'm doing through the camera, but I have yet to be able to figure that out. So right now I just kind of duck. All right, so this is her 30-day manicure layer, nice and thin application. If you want to see down the barrel there, it's a really very thin application, not much thicker than just her natural nail. And that's just hard gel, very thin hard gel layer. All right, go ahead and put that in. Okay.
Is there a consistency difference in natural, clear, pink, etc.?
Natural clear and natural clear pink do not have much of a consistency difference at all. It's just color. This was natural pink. It's almost gone, and we were out, so I went to natural clear. It's just very translucent. It's easier to see for application, so that's really the only reason I use natural pink a lot of the time, but there's no difference. So natural clear pink. I have one client in particular who likes her French really pink, and so delicate isn't even pink enough, so I will actually top out with natural coverage cool pink, which is this one. And I will do her 30-day manicure layer with this cool pink, and that will add a little bit of extra pink to her nail bed, and so she likes how that turns out. So I've been doing that with her. So right now I'm going to use Dreamy first, and this is to create the white tip. There are a lot of different ways to make kind of the baby boomer look. A lot of educators teach it with the regular pink and white gels, so like the French white or Builder French white's okay. It's you almost want to thin it out though a little bit because you want it to blend in really clear. But in the real world salon, I don't like using those because you really need to finish file those to get it perfect a lot of the time. And I don't like to finish file. If this is the first time you've watched me, I don't like to work that hard. So, but finish file on this one we must, because this is the one where she bumped this side of it coming in and out of the light. So if you guys look at the line of light, you can see how it's bumpy on there. And so right before I apply her color, I didn't take any of the tacky layer off. I'm just going to quickly smooth this out so there's no big bumps on this. That's it. And check down the barrel, make sure that there's nothing coming off the side. And there we go. If you look down the side, you can see that it's nice and smooth now. So that's all I'm going to do. That's all the fix that needed. So I just dabbed a little bit of gel on there and stuck it back in the light when she noticed that she bumped it. And easy fix. Okay, so again, this is Dreamy, and the reason I like to use Dreamy is because it has a very slight pearl to it, and you're not really going to see it in the final look, but what you are going to see is that it blends really well. So I just took a wipe and I put a little bit of nail prep on it just to keep my brush nice and clean, and I'm just going to blend this up. And you want to just blend it up good enough that you're not going to see a line. It's going to be covered by my Delicate, so you're not going to have to worry about a line very much, but I do want it to blend because I don't want to see any kind of sharp line underneath the nail.
Okay, question, can you polish over with a different brand of polish?
Yes and no. When it comes to gel polishes, they're not all created equal. So polish, the nature of polish is that it ages over time, it gets brittle, it gets old. That's why when you polish nails, it's not going to look the same after 7 days as when you apply it the first day, because the first day it's nice and flexible, it looks great, and then as the polish ages, it starts to get more brittle and it starts to chip. Gel, a true 100% gel isn't going to age, and so when you apply it a month later, it's not going to be aging, it's not going to chip, it's not going to do anything like that. So it maintains its flexibility. So when you do this hard gel layer as thin as I do it, if I cover it with just a polish or a gel polish that tends to get very brittle and chip really easily, you're just going to end up with more problems over time. You might be good for a couple of weeks, but it's not going to wear as well as 100% gel polish. So can you do it? For sure. Do some nail techs have success with it? Absolutely. So, you know, you can check with some other nail techs. I know some nail techs that do this with shellac and don't have a problem, or they know which clients it works with, because a lot of it has to do with the natural nail of the client underneath it. If your client's natural nails are really flexible, they might need a more flexible base and a more flexible gel color. So really, you have to know your clients really well if you're going to kind of play with that. I mean, I even have to know my clients really well, because the 30-day manicure layer that I do, that hard gel layer, it's different depending on the client that I'm doing. I do 3 different combinations, and so it really depends on the client that I'm doing whether I'm going to use, you know, enhance and adhere, or natural and adhere, and OptiBond, which is what I use most of the time, or the options Crystal Clear, or Options Clear and OptiBond. If I have a client that has really flexible natural nails, I'm going to go ahead with the options because they're typically going to work better. Or if I have someone that just lifts no matter what, she lifts all the time, then I'm going to do options on her. Joe is one of the dream clients, never really lifts at all, so I use natural and OptiBond on her. I could use Adhere and Enhance. I've gotten back into using natural more than Enhance just because I like the consistency of it a little bit better. Enhance is a little bit runnier. I have to work with it faster. If it's temperature sensitive, it tends to, you know, run to one side, from one side to another, and it drives me a little bit crazy. So Enhance is awesome. If you don't have a hybrid light and you can only use LEDs, then definitely stick with Adhere and Enhance, or switch over to Balance. If you need someone that has, or if you have someone that needs a little bit more flexibility, you can try Balance. Any other questions? Oh, I'm talking a lot today.
Not so far.
Okay.
But people are saying hi.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, Dr. Norman says hi, and she loves your videos,
Oh.
even if she's a dentist.
I love Dr. Norman. And I can't wait. I'm going to have to stop in and see your new place because it looks amazing. We're going to have to talk about my missing tooth. Someday I need to fix my tooth. All right, there's a little spot in there. All right, so I'm doing the second layer of my white. And this is Dreamy. If you just turned in, this is the Luxio Dreamy. I like to use it for a lot of situations where I create an ombre with white. I really like to use Dreamy because it blends a lot easier than using pure or polar. So just lightly blending this up so that there's no sharp line at all. And then my next coat I'm going to be using is with Delicate. And Delicate is a semi-translucent pink. So it is really helpful when doing this technique. And I've done it a couple of different ways. I've done it where I would do like a white and then a pink and then a white and then a pink. And I kind of figured out the technique that I'm going to be showing you guys a little while ago. And it works really well for getting that nice blended baby boomer look. So like I said, there's no wrong way to do it. If you do like to use your hard gels and you finish file and that kind of a thing, you can definitely do this with a coverage pink and French white, things like that. I know Selena likes to teach it with a French white builder gel. And so there's nothing wrong with that at all. This is just for those of us who like to use gel polish in the salon, get people in and out, no finish filing. This is the way that I do it in the real world. And if you guys missed it this morning, I did a fun little cheetah video, so you can scroll down and check out that, and I will post them on my YouTube page. Probably at the end of the week. I typically go through and pull them all over. 9 frame, okay.
Yeah, that blue shows up really nice.
And the blue? Yeah, this blue is gorgeous. I love it. I'm gonna be sad to see it go. It's definitely one of my favorite colors that I've accidentally created. It kind of makes me want to start messing around and accidentally create some other ones.
It made me think for a half a minute. Oh.
Yeah, right. Jo would never wear blue. She's kidding with you all right now because
No,
she wears.
I thought about it. That's how much I think it's pretty.
French and nudes. She did the sweater. That was a standout.
I know.
She does stamps, so she'll do like a French with like a stamped accent nail and things like that. But Jo would never do blue. Unless maybe if the Seahawks went to the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah.
Maybe you would.
Or, like, if I do blue, but then I put, like, so much white stamp on it.
Right, that's almost not blue. All right, so here's the trick with creating the boomerang. Sorry, the baby boomer. Is I'm going to use this almost like a builder gel. So I'm going to push it around the cuticle. And I'm just going to dab it right here in the center. And then I'm going to leave it for a second. And I'm going to move on. So I'm taking a good amount, and I'm going to do 2 nails at a time just because I'm using quite a bit here, and then I'm going to freeze it. And then I'll do 2 nails and freeze it. So I'm pushing it around the cuticle here because I want to get a good coverage of pink, and then leave it. Then I'm going to take my brush, and I'm just going to blend it down very lightly over the white. There you go. Blend it down over the white. We'll look at it and see. Do we need to freeze it? I don't think we need to actually. We'll just move on. So again, I'm taking a good kind of bit of this pink, and the reason this works with this pink is because it's got that semi-translucency. You know it's going to cure really well all by itself. Even though we're getting a bunch on there at once, it's going to cure perfectly fine. So get that on there, and I kind of move it around down to about halfway down the nail, and then come off.
Okay, so.
And lightly touch the end and blend it.
A couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, do you use the glow-in-the-dark top coat?
I do around Halloween,
Okay,
a little bit.
All the hype on the glow-in-the-dark acrylic. How is accents?
Okay, see, this ran a little bit. I'm going to freeze this for a second. The glow-in-the-dark top coat is great if you want to create. I like to do the negative thing with that. So when I do the glow in the dark, I'll maybe do a design, do the glow in the dark, and then or the solid color. So say I do like a neon green, put the glow in the dark down, and then stamp something in black over the top of it, and then when it glows, like you might have a witch or something. I mean, I don't use it on everyday clients. It's really a Halloween thing, but it is fun to do for Halloween for sure. But I haven't had any requests for it when it's not Halloween. But I do know it's a current fad.
And then somebody else asked again, what color is the pink?
So the pink is Delicate. So when I'm doing my French on clients, I typically use Delicate or Blush, which is the nude version of this. They both are semi-translucent. You don't even have to use your little thing, but as you can see, it gives you that nice blended, really pretty pink to white effect. Go ahead and freeze that.
And also, somebody asked if you can make sure and post a picture when you're done.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, come back. All right, so again, we're going to take a good amount, and I'm pillowing it kind of around the cuticle here because I want to make sure I get it nice and close. Make sure I have enough on there. I don't want any marbling. I want it to look nice and solid. And then you're going to just lightly blend it over that. A little bit of marbling here.
Oh, do you put your gel on a warm surface? Some techs use a cup warmer or on top of a towel warmer to help it self-level.
Yeah, if you are working in a cold salon, or you are have a client who, or your salon tends to be cold, and you want your gel to run a little bit more for you, then definitely put it somewhere warm. There's a weird kind of coloring going on here, so I'm just kind of making sure that it looks even. I don't know if you can see in the camera, but I'm finicky, so okay. So I don't, if we accidentally turn the heat off in the salon and it gets really cold, I have a little fireplace heater thingamabobber about 8 feet from me, and I've actually put it in front of that on the floor. I think this needs shaking a little bit. I put it on the floor in front of it while I prep and get everyone, get my clients' nails ready, and by the time I'm ready to apply the gel, it's very runny. So it does not take a lot of heat to warm up natural, for sure. So if you want to use natural, but it seems to be a little bit too stiff for you and you just need a tiny bit of runniness, then definitely something warm. But, ooh, we touched lint. Using a cup warmer or something like that can make it quite warm. So just be careful, because you could go from a very easy to use gel to a very difficult to use gel because it's running all over the place. So definitely be careful when you start messing with the heat. But I used to teach techs when I would mix Builder French white and competition white, and we would use it for sculpturing pink and whites. I used to teach them to put it on top of the paraffin dip container in their salon and just cover it with a towel for, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. And that would make that white so much easier to use. So if you have a white that's very stiff, but you like it because of the color and because of how sharp your smile lines are, but it's hard to apply, stick it on top of your paraffin dip container or something just to make it a little bit warm, and that will work. I'm gonna freeze that.
So Jeremy wrote, which kind of cracks me up, because
My
I know that's
brother?
your brother.
Oh my
He
gosh.
says, what does baby boomer mean?
Baby boomer is just the style of this nail. Hello to my brother who is in IT. It's hilarious. It is this style of French to white faded nail, basically. A little bit tricky for people to do because white doesn't like to blend very easily. So I'm showing everyone how to do it, bro.
She's sharing her talent. Okay. So somebody asked that she was looking at her Delicate color, and it's really a brighter pink.
I don't know. You could let us know what batch you have, and we can check into it. It might look brighter pink in the pot than it does when it goes on the nail, because it is semi-translucent. So you do have to remember that.
So she just wrote back, never mind, I just realized I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry. So,
The names are on the bottom,
never mind.
and that sometimes helps if for some reason your
Looking in the
label
right
got
place.
messed up. Yeah. Well, there's been times when I take a lid off of a pot of color and it gets the wrong lid on it. And so you pick it up and you open it and you're like, oh, nope, this is not light pink. This is almost brown. And look at the bottom of it, and thank goodness they put a label on the bottom too, so you could figure out what one got the wrong lid. So I'm just wiping out any color that I get into the cuticle before it goes in. I'm gonna freeze that. All right, come back. Doesn't take but a second or two to freeze it. All right. Oh, sorry.
With how thick you're putting on that paint, does it not wrinkle?
No. So wrinkling is caused by gel polish that is made with polish and gel together, and it has to cure and dry at the same time. This is 100% gel. There's no polish in it. So the only way this is going to wrinkle is if you were to do this with one of the colors that is so pigmented that it can't cure. This one is a semi-translucent color, so it is going to cure perfectly fine all the way through, just like if you were using a clear pink gel. So even though it's a gel polish, it's going to cure completely fine because there's no polish in it. It's 100% gel. The polish is what causes the wrinkling with a lot of gel polishes in the market. So if you want to be able to do this, I don't think you're going to be able to do it with some of the, I won't name names, but a lot of the gel polishes that are mixed with, that are polish and gel. If it smells strongly of polish, then you're probably going to get wrinkling if you try this. If you haven't tried Luxio, Luxio does not smell of polish at all. So it's 100% gel. Let's do that.
And somebody else said, sorry, I wasn't paying attention, but is that 2 or 1 coat of the pink?
That was 1 coat of the pink. So I used to try this with 2 coats of the pink, and I didn't really like how it looked. I really like how it looks better with just 1 kind of thicker coat of pink. It just seems to be a little bit creamier than doing 2 coats, and it's easier to blend it with a thicker coat.
1 thick coat.
It's just 1 thicker coat of pink. Now I'm just applying my gloss, which is Luxio Gloss. It's my favorite gloss.
And even though it's 1 coat, it looks really pretty and blended.
It looks really pretty and blended, absolutely. So it works really, really well with this technique. You get that really nice baby boomer effect.
Seriously,
without
it's
too...
so quick the way you just did that.
Yeah, it's quick. See, real nails, people. We could spend all day doing stuff, but our clients love us, but they don't want to be here all day. They want to go home just as much as we do.
And you don't want the same client sitting in your chair that long.
Well, time is money, right? So if you have a client sitting there for 2 hours, are they paying adequately for 2 hours of your time? And you have to figure out what you make per minute. And if you're doing nail art that takes you a half an hour, are you being paid for half an hour of your time? And what I used to realize, oh, hello, was that I didn't really like doing services that weren't priced per minute the same. So, you know, a lot of people like doing pedicures because you make, you know, a little bit more per minute because you're working on feet than you might doing nails. And so making sure that you're kind of consistent across the board and your price per minute really helps. All right, so I got some gel in here. Real world. See a little bit I went over there? So what I'm going to do is before I top gloss this, I'm actually just going to push the nail down, or the skin down a little bit, get in here and smooth that out as if it was never there. Okay, and that's going to make sure that my top gloss is adhering correctly to the side of the nail. All right, back to where we are at. I always finish the edges anyway, so I don't necessarily have to do that, but I like the top gloss to be smooth and to the side, and you eliminate possible lifting by making sure that there's nothing on the side there.
Just ask the question, do you finish, file, and free edge as you normally would?
Oh yeah, I'm about to do that. Right when I finish her, I will show you guys my finish on this and on one hand, and that way you guys can see the finished results. And I'll make sure I Instagram picture this for you. Okay, I'm just double checking, making sure there's none that's moving funny, and that my line of light looks good. Oh, there's a little bit. This corner had built up just a little tiny bit in that corner. All right, that. That is the squeak of Luxio Top Gloss. Nothing else makes that sound and is near as shiny, in my opinion, as Luxio Top Gloss. It
Stays shiny for 30 days. No
stays shiny, which is awesome. So always push down on the side. I'm going to go around the side, the front, and the side. This is the only finished filing that I do, just to make sure that the nail is shaped how I want it to be and finished. Have a nice sharp nail. Yes, I have before scratched the nail so badly doing this on someone that I've had to rebuff and retop gloss, but luckily that time I did not. So push down, and as you guys can see, perfectly smooth on the side there. That's what I want to see. Get a little bit of gel on her skin. Bye-bye. Coming from the side, push down underneath. Push down, so she's got a little bit that ran into that. It's always, this is why I do this final step, because any top gloss is like that. You're gonna have pickers that are gonna go after it, and then they're gonna say, my nail fell off. I don't know how it happened.
Sounds like me.
So eliminating anything that can allow them to pick is super essential. So I'm just gonna use a sanding band that I used to remove her old color. And if you look down the barrel, you can see that you see the white and then her natural nail. And I wanna just thin that out just a little bit there. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Sorry, too close to that. Let's see if I can remove it like that. There we go. So I just want to angle this up, and we're just going to thin this little free edge out. You don't need any strength right there. It can be nice and thin. You guys see how nice and thin that is now? It can be nice and thin and not affect the strength of her nails. It is, she doesn't go chipping her nails or anything with them very thin on the free edge here. She might scratch herself with that little corner, so I'll take that off for her. But just by making their nails thin, it feels more like a regular just manicure. They don't have the bulk of any kind of, the fake nail feeling. Nobody wants that fake nail feeling a lot of the time when they come in for a gel manicure, even a 30-day manicure. They want their nails to feel really strong and their color to last a long time, but they still want them to look thin and look natural. And so that's what makes fabulous clients like Joe love her nails.
The first thing people will look at.
Yeah, and I've had clients that will have to Instagram their natural nail as proof that it is their natural nail, because people won't believe them that it's not a tip or something like that. They'll think, oh, your nails can't grow that gorgeous. No one's can. But by using this 30-day manicure technique, you can get nice, strong nails that will last a month.
And that haven't cracked in almost 5 years.
In 5 years, she hasn't cracked a nail, guys. She does have pretty awesome natural nails, though. Right?
Well,
Gotta love that. So I oiled her up. I always use lap towel to rub in the oil. Gets the last bit of dust off her nails. And there we go. Baby boomer. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and let me know if there's anything else you want to see coming up soon, and we'll see if we can make another video later this week. Have a good night. Bye.